Alright, enough with the damn Paul Feig Ghostbusters bullshit. That guy has no clue what he is doing whatsoever. Nothing he has said to me indicates he has any idea what he's walking himself into. None at all. And I'll tell you why it's a gimmick with the women. I have no problem with women Ghostbusters. I'm not sexist. I just want an idea that's actually worth rebooting a franchise as great as Ghostbusters. When his first statement is, yes, I'm doing the new Ghostbusters and it's going to star funny women. That's a gimmick. That's an automatic gimmick. He clearly had no idea yet what he was doing. He just wanted women in it. He had no story. He had no concept of anything other than he wanted it to be a reboot and an origin story. He's just coming out with the other information now. And I'm sorry, all the information is just a bunch of other movies tied into his. He wants Peter Dinklage, who's a great actor, to play basically like a Shocker type, if you saw Wes Craven's Shocker. Except instead of being a regular, normal-sized white guy, it has to be a little person. That is what he's doing. Ghostbusters, they were men, now they're women. So I'm being creative. And now instead of a regular-sized white guy to play this Shocker-esque ghost who dies in the electric chair and then comes back to control ghosts and kill people, I'm going to make it a little person too. Creative! Wow. It's amazing that Sony is going with this whatsoever. I don't think that they have any clue what the hell they're doing either. I don't think they care. I think all they want is a Ghostbusters, something that says Ghostbusters, and that's it. They did the same thing with Ghostbusters 2, except I loved Ghostbusters 2. Many people will disagree that it's good, but I'm telling you, when this other one comes out, the people who hate Ghostbusters 2 are going to think that it is a fucking masterpiece. I mean, Paul Feig wants this to be scarier. Okay, well, that doesn't, I understand he wants it to be better special effects, but that takes away from the comedy, and I don't think, if he's putting Kristen Wiig, who I've never laughed at anything she's ever done, I don't understand why she's even still famous. I know she helped write Bridesmaids. She has never made me laugh at all. Neither has Melissa McCarthy. None. Maybe in Mike and Molly a couple times, and after that, she has no funny in her whatsoever. But it doesn't look like they may do this anyway. Like, if they get Emma Stone, that's cool. Linda Cardellini, that's cool too. And the fact that they're not even comedians, they're serious actresses who have done more than that, than just, they're good actresses. And the other two are comedians, and yet the two that aren't strictly comedians will be funnier. But I just don't think this movie just doesn't make sense. I'm so pissed off, like every other diehard Ghostbusters fan, or most of all of us are pissed off. 26 years we're waiting. How they can do this makes no sense at all. Okay? Bill Murray didn't want to do it. You know what? Who cares? Okay? He wasn't going to do it. I don't care anymore that he wasn't going to do it. I wanted Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson. I wanted Rick Moranis, Sigourney Weaver, and Harold Ramis isn't going to happen either, clearly. But how can you turn down all those scripts? We have, 5 or 6 different writers working on numerous scripts, revising the numerous scripts over the last, 10 years. Ethan Coen, they're going to turn that down to do this Paul Feig, and his only pitch was, I want all-girl Ghostbusters. That was his whole pitch. And that's better than what Ethan Coen wrote? There's no way in hell. Why would you choose that? Why would you hire Feig and say, that's brilliant? Nothing else that even the original Ghostbusters, Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, came up with. You don't need Bill Murray, okay? If you're redoing it, Bill Murray's not really, it doesn't matter. Because you're reinventing the series, but you're doing it in the same world. And passing the torch, I did not like Extreme Ghostbusters, the cartoon. I thought it was rushed, not well done, and it was only lasted 1 season. And that's why. But the concept is perfect for this, and should be the way it is. And if you're going to do this, and you're going to have another one with Chris Pratt, possibly, and Channing Tatum, and I don't even know what the hell that's all about, and I don't really care. I have no faith in Sony whatsoever. I have faith in Dan Aykroyd. He's wanted to do this for years. Ernie Hudson wanted to do this for years. You can keep saying, oh, why don't they just say it's for the money? Okay, well, Dan Aykroyd, he doesn't need any money, okay? That guy's, as long as he doesn't become a drug addict, he's going to be rich the rest of his life, whether he does anything else or not. You know, selling vodka. I mean, that's all he does. I mean, in the public's eyes, selling vodka, Crystal Head Skull vodka. It's a hobby because he has enough money. He doesn't have to do anything else. I think this series deserved a legitimate sequel, or a third one. Passing the Torch was perfect. So Bill Murray didn't have to be in it at all. I mean, it's passing to a new generation. They're going to be the more relevant ones anyway, as you move forward. So this just is so stupid. I mean, and Paul Feig wants them to have a special part of the government that's only Ghostbusters and you know, supernatural and everything. It's only them that kind of monitors the Ghostbusters and is kind of, it's like they're like Men in Black basically. I mean, is that not obvious enough that that's just Men in Black instead of aliens? It's ghosts, and it's basically Walter Peck, like in the game when he's overseeing the Ghostbusters and has to put up with them and report to the government and kind of go between them and the Ghostbusters and stuff. It's the video game, and it's Men in Black. I mean, and of course the Peter Dinklage, you know, guy, the electric chair. I mean, let's forget about the Scoleri brothers in the second movie. Okay, they had no real plot, but those two were two convicted killers who were, you know, killed in the electric chair and then came back, obviously, in the courtroom in the second one. I have yet to hear one original idea from Feig at all. Just that he's defending that it's not a gimmick. Well, it is a gimmick. Because you haven't come up with anything. You want it to be scarier, but you're kind of missing the point when you say you want it to be scarier. You're going to make it PG-13, and the scariness is not what Ghostbusters is all about. It helps relieve when something's scary, it helps relieve the tension by and then by laughing at it. Or I mean, that's even what Straczynski said, who did the real Ghostbusters series. It helps kind of dissipate your horror to have something to laugh at. And I love the second one. Some people say that it didn't work because it was all slime, no Ghostbusters. The only thing that was different about that is the special effects were better, therefore the guys had harder time shining and being as dominant as they were in the first one as the characters. Because special effects were a little more cartoony and they were more comical. In the second one they were way more realistic, but everything else was still there. They were still hilarious. They just had a bigger budget, and therefore it didn't make as much as the first one, so it was obviously not considered to be a phenomenal success, even though it was 200 and some million. It's pretty damn successful, even in '89. And that's, I mean, that's one of the biggest blockbuster summers of '89. But anyway, until Feig comes up with anything, because this guy has no idea what he's getting himself into, and how unoriginal he's being, Hollywood doesn't have anything left, really, in my opinion. I mean, in Sony, I'm a huge Fright Night fan. They own that franchise too, and they totally screwed that up. I would have taken a Part 3 direct to DVD than the remake or the re-remake, which was the Fright Night 2, not Part 2, 2. It's a remake, basically, of the remake. Do these guys have any idea what they're doing? I don't know how they're millionaires, how they're a millionaire or a billionaire type studio. I mean, there's other studios that have made great movies that have gone out of business that make better stuff than this. Sony, they want to make money, but they don't seem to have any clue. And they don't even really seem to care what the public wants. And I really hope for once the public, because everybody hated Ninja Turtles for the most part, but they still wanted to see it, and it still made millions of dollars, and it's getting a sequel for sure. But they hated it, though, and they knew they were going to hate it when they're going in. So many of people I've heard saying that. And I hope for once that the people just say, screw it, I'm not going to go to it, I'm not going to watch it. This is idiocy at its greatest, and I'm just not going to ignore it completely. And I hope people do that. Please do that. Because watch out when it comes out on DVD, Blu-ray, but don't go to the theater to see it, because this is a travesty to the franchise. And I'm telling you, Ghostbusters 2 is a masterpiece compared to whatever crap is coming out now, or they're working on. They're just finally coming up with ideas now. And I'm sorry, I don't care how good of a cast you have. If it's just a combination of a bunch of rip-off of a bunch of other movies, including the 2 Ghostbusters as well, it's not worth making at all. It's just not worth making. It's ruining. I'm afraid it's going to taint the other 2. I really am. And I wanted another cartoon as well. And if they ever make another one, what's it going to be? You know, the all-female thing? You know, I want the guys to come back. And in cartoon form, that's how you can definitely bring them back. You know, Lorenzo Music's not alive, Dave Coulier still alive, or cast somebody else. Everybody else is still alive from that cast. I mean, they keep doing Ninja Turtles over and over, Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man. Why is inventing Ghostbusters so difficult? It just doesn't make sense to me how they're making it harder than it has to be. And they're actually doing that by, well, basically just handing it off to an idiot who thinks that they can do a good job. But he's not going to do a good job. I don't think there's any chance in hell that anything good is going to come out of this. And he says, I want it to be when, you know, origin story where people don't know about ghosts, and then when ghosts happen, people are going to be like, what's going on? Brilliant! I mean, are you kidding me? What the hell? Who thinks that sounds like a guy who has any fucking idea what he's doing? Please, somebody comment and tell me why they're confident about this idiot. And this dude, Katie Dippold, wrote The Heat, one of the stupidest movies of the year. I couldn't stand that. Sandra Bullock could do so much better. What a terrible movie. Bridesmaids is okay. She didn't have anything to do with that, but this is basically women or bridesmaids with proton packs. Except he wants to make the technology cooler. Good fucking luck with that. All he's gonna do is probably go to Wikipedia and look up different kinds of stuff. You know, in '84, '83 when they were writing the first one, they couldn't do that. Dan Aykroyd was legitimate. He came up with all this stuff, all the technology, and then of course, then Harold Ramis and Ivan Reitman came in to help revise the script and make it more realistic, or in the real world, an origin being more realistic than being in space, which is what Aykroyd had in the beginning. They knew what they were doing, okay? And they had proven themselves. Paul Feig has not proven himself, in my opinion, to come up with something for this franchise which should be headed in so much more of a creative and colossal future. I mean, this is going to just take them down. And I have no idea what's going to come out of it. It's not going to be good. It's just not. I mean, why can't we just start with a cartoon first and see how that works? Or a CGI movie. Why couldn't they just start with that first and kind of test the audience? Cartoon show would have been perfect. To just test the audience, see, is there even a demand for these characters anymore? Or isn't there? I mean, like a focus group, but Sony is too lazy to do that. And they're just going to give it to this guy who's made, what, 2 successful movies? I mean, seriously, all the shit that Ivan Reitman had up to before he made Ghostbusters, it was kind of crazy for them to give him $30 million without a story. But he had done so much ahead of time that, you know, it made more sense than Paul Feig and Katie Dippold. Katie Dippold, she's written, what, 1 movie, The Heat, terrible. And she's also done, Parks and Rec, which is a decent show. I don't have any problem with that, but that's all she's done. Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd, I mean, think of all the things that they did before Ghostbusters. I mean, I just want somebody to have a little bit of dignity. They say that they know Ghostbusters franchise has marquee value and it's one of their most, you know, celebrated franchises. Well, they don't treat it like it whatsoever, except re-releasing the first one over and over and over. And finally, we're releasing the second one on Blu-ray with something other than a damn trailer on it. It took them 25 years just to do that for the second one. you can tell they have no regard for that one at all. And a lot of other fans don't either, but I really don't think you can say that this new pitch of Feig's is better than Ghostbusters 2. Even the pitch alone should be considered to be crap compared to Ghostbusters 2. I just don't get it. I think it's ridiculous, and I think there's a lot of people that, when Ernie Hudson said that Ghostbusters, this is not what the fans want, people say he's just saying that because he's mad, he's pissed off because he's not in it. Well, you're damn right he's pissed off. He's pissed off like we're pissed off. It's been almost 26 years we've been waiting. And this is what we get. I didn't even think Sony would sink this low, but he doesn't need the money either. He's a working actor. He's done both. Way more screen time than the second one. It's just, that's what he is associated with the most. That and Oz. So it makes sense, and he's been getting asked about it for 26 years as well, from all the different Comic-Con things he's gone to and other events where he always has his jumpsuit on. So I think he has every right to be pissed off. I mean, legally, no, of course, because they didn't sign him for anything. They basically didn't tell him anything, and which is just sad because he deserved to come back. All the other ones did too. If Bill Murray didn't want to do it, I don't care. His attitude helped shut down a third one, and he waited so long. I wouldn't be mad if he just said no, just no. But instead, he dragged it on forever, saying, "I might do it. I'll get around reading it sometime." And he had you know how many years spanned that he kind of led everybody on, including Sony and Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis. Just say no. I'm not mad at that. But when you drag it on forever, and basically he drug it on so long that Harold Ramis died during it, that is just complete crap. I mean, he's likable, yeah, but even as a kind of a cynic asshole, but I don't like him at all anymore. He does have a likable quality that you shouldn't like, kind of like Venkman, who is kind of a dick in the first one, especially the first scene, where he's shocking the nerd. I think that's just Bill Murray. I don't even think he's really playing a character. I think he's just playing himself. He just happens to have 2 degrees. But he is that big of an asshole. And he should feel like a dick. He didn't have to do it, no. But he should just feel like a dick for drugs. He's dragging, all of us along for this long. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And Sony, you guys are morons, and I really hope that you pull this before it gets started, or before it starts, filming, because this is a mistake, and you're gonna taint the franchise that you say you're so proud of and has so much market value for you. It's not going to for long if you do this. And I'd love to hear everybody else's comments. Just comment and let me know what you think, because this is just, I just can't believe that this is still going on. After all the rumors that have been true, out of all of them, there's been so many. This is the one that comes true, that ends up being real. To me, that's just unreal. I mean, this is the one that makes probably the least amount of sense out of all of them, too. Other than Bill Murray being a ghost in it. That's really the only other one that's really just stupid. And they weren't serious about that anyway. So, just comment, let me know what you think. Thanks for listening to my Ghostbusters Paul Feig rant. Probably won't be the last one, so thanks. Bye.